Man, get up here in the Zoloft to get your head right.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back for that refill from the Zoloft. Man, I saw this video of an interview with Frye. He was asked something to the effect of, if you were to meet God, what would you say to him? And of course he gave some snooty, pompous answer. And his answer involved him asserting that the Olympian gods would be more worthy of his respect. And his reasoning for this was really weak. I found his answer to be rather inconsistent because he's saying that the Greek gods didn't try to hide their humanity. Okay, look here. In order for him to admire this so-called quality in these Olympian gods, he would have to admit fidelity in their existence and admire this quality that they would have to exist to give themselves. Why would you admire these so-called gods and admire their supposed noble quality of having human qualities that humans created for them? You're admiring gods that you don't even believe in, who don't even possess qualities of their own making. And you're trying to say that God, compared to them, hid his humanity? No, dude. Your so-called Greek gods hid behind humanity. In tales of the Greek gods, they disguised themselves as humans. God, the one true God, mind you, didn't come disguised as a human. He went beyond just visitations. He grew into manhood and died as a human being. That's not hiding behind humanity like your so-called Greek gods did. And why did God die? To prove that he alone has the power to face Hades in his own realm. See, Jesus visited Hades, choked him out, dropped him in, and walked over his body back into the realm of the living. The death and resurrection of Jesus is recorded history, with witnesses who were subject to a horrible death at the hands of hostile unbelievers like you. That ain't no myth, man. They faced death because they met life. And those who believe in him shall never be kept by death. Death can make a claim, yes, but the claim of death has no permanence. Jesus made that assured. And that's a fact stronger than your denial. And then let's consider the irony of Frye's arrogance. You entertain meeting the Olympian gods. Stephen, I can assure you, you will not meet the Olympians. However, you will meet up with the one you invoked. That one being Hades. And let's get the record straight. Hades ain't gonna be some dude with a three-headed dog and a ghoulish gondolier named Charon according to Grecian myth. But I'll tell you this much, my self-exalting dude, you may not like the idea of meeting God on his own terms, but you definitely get to meet Hades on your own terms. Matter of fact, the guaranteed way to meet Hades is on your own terms. Now this dude goes on to curse God for the suffering that's in the world, like children that have insects that eat their eyes. I hear you, man, that's horrible. And he asks, what kind of God creates this? Man, that's pretty lame. It's pathetic when people assume that they're enlightened and bold for making such statements. And look here, man, God didn't make mankind to be food for anybody or anything. The reason why we're in the state that we're in is because of arrogant people like you who think they know better than God. Man, even when these horrible things weren't a factor and there was just paradise, the attitude like yours existed that there could be another above God. And y'all end up screwing things up, man. And you have the free will to think that you're too smart for God, but choices have consequences, man. You want to do things your own way? You got to pay your own way. Look here, man. Too often when people want to do things their own way, other people end up being forced to pay for it. That's why we have oppression and murder. People want to do their own way apart from God's instructions. And what's even more sad, dude, is that your answer to what you would say to God has obviously been rehearsed. It sounds to me like you have long practiced how you are gonna stand there with your hands on your hips and give a tongue lashing to a God that you don't even believe exists. That's dumb, dude. Now, speaking for myself, I don't waste my time rehearsing some post-mortem lecture that I'm gonna give to some God saying, what kind of God has people murdering, raping, and terrorizing in the name of Allah? Know why? Because I don't expect to meet Allah. I don't waste my time preparing a lecture for somebody I know I'm not gonna meet. But you, Mr. Frye, you are so full of yourself that you would even rehearse and fantasize about giving a lecture to a being that you don't even believe exists, while accusing us believers of worshiping an imaginary being. Matter of fact, the guaranteed way to meet Hades is on your own terms.
The Exodus will be so fast, find the